Good afternoon, Foundation staff. Welcome to Dr. Sherman's office hours, which I think I've settled on just as a precursor to this stream. I think that's what I've settled on this as a name for these little casual streams. I think the old Anomalous broadcast from Site 42 is what we'll call the more formal streams, in costume, doing the whole lab coat green screen. But when we're doing casual streams, that's when we're talking about Dr. Sherman's office hours. So, welcome to Dr. Sherman's office hours. Good to see everyone in the stream. Let me make sure I've got the live stream set up here. There's my chat flying by. Viewer activity, so I can see the supers and answers for when those are coming in. Excellent. In the meantime, welcome to our, what is this, 4th or 5th Dr. Sherman's office hours? I swear, if you say I have a question, that's good, that's what we're here for. But you gotta ask the question, because if you say I got a question, it will be gone the next time you say a question. If I see your chat once, it's lucky if I see that. So just ask your questions, or say your hellos. Hello, everyone. Good to see everybody. Where's SCP-999? Obviously in its containment cell where it belongs. Unless it's been checked out for testing. I don't know if it's been checked out for testing, because I'm here with you guys. Zerdrin, hello, hello. Good to see you, buddy. That's right. As always, I will answer questions in the chat as it flies by to the best of my ability. If you are a member, I can see your green name and awesome finger guns emoji or badge, and that makes it easier to catch you. And if you do a super chat at, I think it's like $4.99, $5 or up, then it stickies to the bottom so I can see it more. If you do a super chat that's like $2.99 or something, I still see it up here so I can still get to it because I'm in the office today. Otherwise, it would just go by. I actually just posted some art, Lamau. Well, good, Zerdrin. I always approve of the art. Now, question, are there any frog SCPs? Actually, there are at least a couple frog SCPs, and the one I'm going to suggest you check out very first is in the new video we dropped yesterday, which is these SCPs are a joke. One of the joke SCPs is a -J called Keter Frog Farts, and they are the most hilarious frog farts that you ever did hear. So, make sure to check out yesterday's video for one frog SCP, but since you were kind enough to donate to the Site 42 Red Division, let me run into the database real quick. The database searcher, which I will call Google for today. And remember, if you ever want to know if there's an SCP about anything, all I do as a researcher is I type SCP frog, and let's see what we get. SCP-2655. Let me arrange my things here. All right, this will be at the end. No, don't make it big. Go away. Chill out. Stop it. Follow my orders. There we go. The third frog. It's a small... Oh, pardon. Those sinuses from the allergies are still killing me. Yikes. SCP-2655 is the third frog. Meanwhile, 6231 is a frog. Uh, 12 different flavors of ice cream. It produces ice cream from its salivary glands. This frog spits ice cream of 12 different flavors. It can fill a cone in 1 to 4 minutes. Why is the ice cream frog? Why ice cream frog? What you? They liked the ice cream. I hope they like me. Oh, I think ice cream frog is going to be a very good little guy. SCP... I hope SCP-6231 does not turn out horrible. I'm a little bit sick. They like me, though. No! Little guy! No! Oh! You asked me about frog SCPs, and now I'm so sad. Okay, well, that's 2 frog SCPs, and wow. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are at least 4 more frog SCPs, so hit Google with the frog SCP shakedown, and especially check out yesterday's video on Keter frog farts, and shout out to SCP author Avocado Milk for making me sad on stream. Now, what a great start. Rude is what I say to you. Alright, coming back to the stream. What happens if I pet SCP-529? Well, I believe SCP-529 is simply Josie the half-cat, right? Or is that 527? No. If you pet 529, it's just going to be happy. Yes, you can pet the cat. As long as, or the half-cat. As long as it's a half-pat. 999 plus gender switching stone test. I don't believe that gelatinous goo actually has a gender. But I could be wrong about that. It's not like it can tell us. Because again, gelatinous goo. In fact, reminder, a lot of people see SCP-999 and they think it's like this little guy with like a happy face and an Easter candy, but it's a massive blob. Isn't it like 3 foot tall? And it's like a meter or something. Let me look at that real quick. And it doesn't have facial features or anything. It is just a blob that makes some noises it does. But 54 kilograms, 120 pounds, 2 meters wide and 1 meter in height. That is a large boy. And again, we don't know if it's a boy, because goo ball is a large goo. Very large goo. Trying to read while the chat flies by really fast. Alright, I'm trying to read the Seb !! comment as I keep scrolling back down. It keeps flying away again. But, A, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy my bracelets. We are fashion styling here at Site 42. B, if you want to purchase an SCP lab coat, make sure you go to a store and you get a real lab coat. Like, go to a medical supply store. Because number one, they're a lot cheaper than costume lab coats, and B, they're a lot higher quality. Get the real lab coat and then iron on a patch. Don't bother with costume lab coats. I always make sure everyone knows that. It's way better. And on top of that, you asked what my favorite SCPs are. I always say those at the end of the stream. It's the last thing I do before I sign off. So you can wait till the end of the stream, which today will probably about, I'd say likely 33 minutes from now. Or, of course, you can always check out the end of one of my previous streams and then come back. It's just a tradition now. Oh, we got a super here. Let me go over to my thing and see my Bob. Froggy Moon, thank you for your second chat. Although I love you as an actor, I want to talk to Dr. Sherman, the character. My question for Dr. Sherman is, Dear Doctor, I saw your videos and you have anomalous powers. What are your abilities? Well, number one, thank you for what I think this is trying to tell me is your 5th super chat on the channel, or something like that. And second, well, seeing that I'm here and Dr. Sherman is not, what we are looking at is, he won't tell you. That's the problem. Dr. Sherman, if there's an anomaly there, it's classified, highly classified. And there's very important reasons why that information cannot be confirmed or denied. And any rumors of anything having to do with a relation to SCP-999, any rumors having to do with some regent, some royalty of a crimson persuasion, complete hogwash. Complete hogwash. Why would you think that? That's a ridiculous statement. Who would make that correlation? It's completely ridiculous to think about. And so, cannot confirm or deny any anomalous abilities from Dr. Sherman. What exactly is SCP-3001? So SCP-3001, so when you take two pieces of paper and you glue them together, then the papers are touching, but they're not touching because particles can't actually like touch or get involved. There's like always a little infinitesimal space in between. And of course there's the glue. And SCP-3001 is the glue between the dimensions. And unfortunately, the glue in between the dimensions happens to be an infinite space of black acid goo that you can breathe for some reason and consistently eats away at your flesh while you are conscious, and you can breathe the goo even though it's killing you, and you rot away for years and years and years. It's not pleasant. But what I will tell you is we have a good article reading of it here on the Site42 YouTube channel, and I am pretty proud of my voice acting for that one, so enjoy that when we're done with the stream. How would the SCP Foundation contain Cartoon Cat? So before I answer that, Robot Dino, thank you for your first dono to Site42. Much appreciated. Cartoon Cat, we have done that one before. But we did it in the TikTok series, not in the YouTube series. So give me a second. SCP Cartoon Cat Dr. Sherman. Yep, there it is.
If Cartoon Cat were an SCP, which it isn't, but if it were,
What did I say?
how would the SCP Foundation contain it? The massively requested Cartoon Cat is known to be one of Jarheim's most powerful enemies, a cosmic creature who resides in the dirt ball and attacks people who enter its domain. This is great news for the SCP Foundation, because we just need to...
Ah, yes. So the point is that Cartoon Cat just kind of hangs out in the mall. And so we would set up a perimeter and not let people into the mall. Then people stop dying when they stop going to the mall. Pretty straightforward containment procedures. We do that for a lot of places that we can't move or really stop the entity. It's actually very similar to how we contain Siren Head in some situations. Is the Siren Head stayed in one wooded area. Then we just cordon off those woods. We'd say there was a nuclear disaster in there and we would not let people in. And we would thereby protect the public, secure, contain, protect. You keep saying I unblacked the 4 fucking pixels, but the point is they weren't blacked, and that's why people saw it. I guess if you saw it on our website, does the database have that picture with the pixels? I forget, it's been so long since I looked at that article. 096. Picture. Incident. Document. Anti-tank gun. Alright, so document, no photograph. Incident. Okay, yes, there it is. So, yes, in yellow, blocked out. So, yes, that picture is still there then. And so, likely, if you think you unblacked the 4 pixels, what you likely did is you put some vague facsimile together. But there's only one way to figure out if you do the real thing, and that's if you get now eaten. So, I hope you're wrong. I hope you didn't succeed. Good luck. Hello, Boggle. Thank you for your first dono to the Site42 Red Division. Would SCP-297 feel good on an immortal? So, first of all, if we're going to talk about Steely Dan over here, you got to remember your semantics. This is very important when we're talking about SCP documents of any kind. Semantics matter. If they are immortal, that does not mean They are invulnerable. Haha. It does not mean they are immune to damage. If they break their leg, they'll still live, but they will be living with broken leg. If they are liquefied by SCP-297, no, I do not think it's going to feel very good. So, easy answer, but that's the kind of lateral thinking we get into here. Anka, welcome back to the stream. Thank you for your dono. Can you show the stairwell a photo of 096? You know, that is a very interesting question. Stairwell. So, you know, because it bops around so much, because it is able to come and go as it pleases, it's a ghostly presence, it seems to have preternatural knowledge of things that are going on around it, I am certain that, like SCP-682, it would be dodging that very easily. I do not think we could send a D-Class down with a photograph and get that to happen. I think it would just appear behind the D-Class and then turn around, but be looking squarely at the D-Class and not at the picture. I think it would vanish as soon as the D-Class turned around, just to mess with it. I doubt the stairwell would fall for such a simple trick. Oh, hello, 408 viewers. We only have 43 likes. Site42 staff, get on that. Would the SCP Foundation be able to neutralize SCP-173 if they were to engineer a robot to continuously stare at it? So, 173 doesn't work with cameras. Otherwise, that would be too easy. It doesn't... I don't think robotic eyes would happen. Although cyborgs, unblinking cyborgs, maybe. I mean, the iPods do work on it. So, it's possible. But, I mean, why would we waste the resources when we have a perfectly good situation going right now? We only lose a couple D-Class a month. It's not that big a deal. In the long run, they are much cheaper to procure than robot cyborg eyes. Jim Jam, thank you for your dono. I have an idea for an SCP, but I'm not a writer. The idea is a pair of oiled welding goggles that the wearer sees what can be made out of repurposed items. So, number one, yeah, writing's a hard skill. We all got to practice it to get there. And the idea is a starting point. But of course, you got to use that idea to tell a story eventually. And unless there's some like horror that this thing does, I mean, I could see horror where, or some sort of thing where like it can see the potential in even people. And then that starts to drive them mad because they think they can be better and they keep self-improving until maybe they join the Church of the Broken God because they turn themselves into cyborgs. Maybe there's some self-improvement psychosis in there. But yes, it's always about iterating and taking an idea and then following the spark and growing the idea and of course then finally writing it. Andre C28. How would the SCP Foundation contain parasites from manga anime series Parasyte? So, I'm unfamiliar with them. Ergo, I'm not going to be able to give you a very good answer. But I can at least do a tertiary bit of research by looking up Parasyte manga series. I'll look up the wiki. And Kiseiju wiki. This is Parasyte, right? Shape-shifting man-eating alien monster. So we got Among Us vibes, and we've done with imposters before. That's not too crazy. What powers? Parasyte powers. Because the wiki's not giving me all that information I want. Main protagonist. Alright, so are you a guy? Do you have a parasite? Do you do stuff? Yeah, you see, when I do get back to the X is not an SCP series, part of it is going to be getting experts on things that I'm not an expert on so we can broaden the scope of what topics we can cover. Because it's a lot of research. I mean, you know, Matt Pat and Game Theory have like a whole team going on. So we're going to need to expand to make that series more useful. Thoughtful, nice person. Oh, just being formally introduced and equated with Migi. Cooperating, coexisting. Parasite. Alright, I'm not getting a lot of intel on what the parasites do. Powers and abilities. Strength, leap, speed and stamina. Durability, endurance, vision, perception, reflexes, mental fortitude. Okay, so it's just like a superhuman. So no problem. We just get a particularly strong box. We got it. And we use Among Us imposter rules. We have shapeshifters, and so we use the procedures for that. If you look at my how would the Foundation contain the imposters, that'll cover that. And so between super strength and imposter syndrome, we got that one covered. At least a tertiary research, obviously. We'd want to do some more. Your thoughts on the Greek gods running loose in the SCP verse. Alpha 1, good to see you in the members chat. So, I mean, there's many iterations of many different gods running loose in Foundation lore. Some of them are very easily contained and some of them are not. But I assume that my thoughts are them and put them in a box. If they are anomalous, they go in a box. It's the rules. I didn't make them up. Except for my site where I'm in charge and therefore I do make up the rules, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Can SCPs have allergies? I mean, if it's an object, probably not. If it is an anomalous entity, I'm sure that some of them have allergies or weaknesses. Shadow, welcome to Level 1 Researcher member status. Say hello to your new badge and Site 42 emojis created by SCP Artist Teeth. Let's see. Ah, yes. I'm sure there's some anomalous people or entities that have weaknesses, allergies, asthma, diseases, stuff like that. So, you know, anomalies are people too, except for that they're not people at all and they are objects and they go in boxes. That's why we call all anomalies it. Superman is not a he, it's an it. Because Superman is an anomaly, not a person. That is how we refer to all anomalous entities, unless we need something from them and Psych decides that the ethics committee says we should be nice and use their preferred pronouns. That way we get what we want from them, but you know, that's just a hassle. Amber, regarding acting, did you ever do mime as part of an acting exercise? Yes, in my years at theater college, I did have a small movement class that involved a lot of yoga, a lot of circus performance, some kabuki movements, and yes, mime. I didn't do a lot of mime. I wouldn't consider myself any sort of expert on mime, but hands on glass. Put the hand up. Move away from the hand. Shadow, new member friend, do I have any suggestions on cool SCPs you should check out? So first and foremost, obviously, my SCPs that I wrote, pretty cool. They're in my author page, which is linked in the bio. You go to the Beacons link, then you go to my author page, you can read my SCPs. Obviously, I'm going to pimp my own work. But then I've got my favorite SCPs, which in about 15 minutes at the end of the stream, I will be talking about, as I always do at the end of the stream. So, obviously, I think those are pretty cool. And then, if I make an SCP video of it for the channel, I at least thought it was cool enough to bring up. So, when it comes to article checkouts, me and other SCP YouTubers are a great place to get our suggestions, because we're probably not going to record an article unless we think it's cool. Is a Wendigo an SCP? So, A, they are anomalous. They are not normal. So that's one thing. B, we have that SCP that is the Wendigo skull. And I think it like comes to life and takes people over or something. I'm not highly familiar with that article. Let me look it up real quick. SCP Wendigo skull. Skull. React to stimuli. Limited locomotion. Fitting their heads through the gap and bludgeon their heads to make it fit. Drastic physical altercations to turn into the monster. Breach and mess things up. So yeah, I guess you could count SCP-323 as a version of that. Now, obviously, that's also a very important, what's the phrase I'm looking for? That is a very important cultural entity to the spiritual practice of several Native American tribes and mythos. So I wouldn't consider ours to be in the same vein as like theirs. It's an offshoot kind of thing. And so with that, I would say it's anomalous, but it's not really an SCP, but we have like a version of it. That's what I'd probably say. Can SCP-999 kill? Well, SCP-999 would not commit the unaliving on you. It's just too nice a little goo ball. But it's probably likely that if you somehow stuck your head in it, you could drown. So I suggest not drowning in the happy tickle goo. That's my suggestion to you. What SCP do I hate the most? Well, Dr. Sherman hates two SCPs most of all. He hates SCP-049 for killing my best friend, Dr. Raymond Ham. And by best friend, I mean a guy I knew at work who sometimes people write about a bunch that we're besties, so maybe we're besties. Maybe I just thought he was a respectable doctor. Who knows? It's up for the interpreter of the canon. But on the other end, SCPs that I hate, I think you all know which one that is, besides 049. That fucking tree. SCP-4521. I'll hate it a lot less if it screams. So maybe the tree should take my advice. If it wants to be friends, it can scream. No, I saw you, Zerdrin. No, I saw you, Alpha 1. It was Alpha 1 who said, no, but 049 is hot. Yes, that's why we hate it more. It's trying to seduce more people into its zombie plague through its objective snappy dressing, whether it's the gender switch version being all demon data adjacent, or whether it's the very sharp Olive Garden waiter outfit. Whichever it is, it's not okay. It needs to stay in its box, in its normal, frumpy robes that somehow people still, for some reason, are into it. Oh, and when I say I despise SCP-049, ignore my snappy SCP-049 shirt. That is not involved in the conversation. It is not in the Site42 Spring store that you can get very cheaply to help support the channel. It is completely unrelated. I still hate 049. It's just... Also, we got a budget to maintain. Gotta send a message real quick. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. Do. Please, internet, work for me. I hate you. I'd appreciate if you did a better job. Please. All right. So I've sent my message that I needed to send. You're lagging a lot. That's rude. I have my Wi-Fi booster on and everything. I do not approve of this saltiness. What is my favorite type of box? You know, an oldie but a goodie. I can't be mad at SCP-682's acid bath, just because it's a jerk and it deserves it. So that box, with the added bonus of causing it immense pain, I love it. All right, I'm getting told a lot that I'm lagging. So what I'm going to try and do, pray to SCP-5320, is I'm going to take my cell phone off of Wi-Fi, and I'm going to see if it works. Signal. Hopefully that's a signal boost. Why are you so good at spinning pen? Asks Sprig. I so good at spinning pen because I practice spinning pen. I spin pen one way, I spin pen the other way. I practice spinning the pen both ways until I'm good at spinning the pen both ways. I spin the pen both ways in one hand. I spin the pen both ways in the other hand. Because you practice the spin. And as you practice the spin, you'll get better at the spin. In fact, welcome, since I got no super chats at the moment, you have time for a spin workshop. So ready? You take a video. You take a video? No, you take a pen. And you put the pen in your fingies. And you wiggle the pen. You wiggle the pen, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle the pen. And then you wiggle the pen until it's horizontal. And you catch it. And you catch it. And now you wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And you wiggle and you catch it. And now here it goes. It goes all the way around. Wiggle all the way. Now it goes over the top. Then you wiggle over the top. And you wiggle all the way around. Bottom, bottom, top, top, bottom, bottom, top, top. Other way. Top, top, bottom, bottom, top, top. And you'll keep wiggling. Now I'll do a little wrist motion because that gives it some momentum. Makes it a lot easier to catch and to keep it going. So you get the wiggly wiggles with your fingies. Get the wiggly wiggle with your wrist. It takes a lot of practice. Chocolate chip. Hey, Dr. Sherman, I don't remember when you said this, but once you mentioned you were on a Rocky Horror Cast. Do you remember which character you played? Oh, of course I remember what character I played. I was the asshole Brad Majors for about a year and a half in a Tampa-based Rocky Horror Cast. Although, on a Switch night, I also played Trixie the Cigarette Girl. And then, using my experience as a cast member in a Rocky Horror Cast, I used that to start a shadowcast of Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, in which I played Dr. Horrible. A bunch of my friends and other actor friends were the other cast members. We did a whole Dr. Horrible shadowcast, and it finally, my involvement with that crew ended when we did Clue, where I played again Tim Curry's The Butler, Wadsworth. And yes, for those who are still saying it's lagging, I apologize. I have no power over what the internet weather storm is giving me. We're doing our best. How did I get interested in the Foundation? I actually learned about the SCP Foundation. I don't remember. It's like I've been amnesticized. Sometime 8 or 9 years ago, I learned about the Foundation. I'm not sure when. I'm not sure where. But the first thing I remember is using the SCP Wiki to get monsters for a D&D game I was running. And so I was using it as a monster manual. I don't remember where I actually learned about it. So, it's crazy. But I've been in the community for about 8 or 9 years now, I think. Or 7 or 8 years. I think it's like 2014, 2013, 2015-ish. Somewhere in that range. Doc, we are having an issue containing a subject with pyrokinesis. Flames can reach 15,000 Celsius. Cut through material with fingers. So you need to adapt SCP-457 containment procedures, because SCP-457 is literally a being made of fire. No, not 347, 457. Silly fingers with the wrong digits. The Burning Man. How hot does the Burning Man get? Temperatures of. I don't see a temperature rating on the Burning Man, but I assume that the blast shielding, emergency sprinkler systems, and such will be efficient, as well as if it's not a person that's on fire, we can use aerosol amnestics to knock them out, to make them forget that they even want to escape. This is, you're worrying too much. This is not difficult. Male 07, thank you for your dono. And what do you think about Anderson Robotics? I think that they do lovely cybernetic work that we do not want getting out to the public at all. That is why we keep those in boxes. They should not get away. Really wish they'd stop making my job so difficult. I see our chat is being flooded with trees. How amusing. And that's even everything. Gosh, chat's going by so fast today. All right, I'm going to stop it up here. Stop the chat. Pick at random. Most ironic SCP. I don't know what makes an SCP ironic. Most ironic. So, I assume it would be some ironic fate. And oh, okay. Just because I know it's ironic and I'm going with it, we're talking about the impenetrable Nerf dart. The strongest Nerf dart. SCP Nerf dart. Now, it's not the nerfing gun, which is also awesome but not ironic. We're talking about SCP-5283, which was a Nerf dart that got stuck to the cafeteria ceiling in Site-37, and it could not be gotten down by any means, including trying to pull it down, trying to cut it from there with a knife or a saw or a chainsaw. We could not remove it with a portable laser saw, and he shouted at it very aggressively for 78 minutes. After he got mad, he prayed it wouldn't come down, and finally, HR told him to ask it nicely. And when he asked it nicely, it worked. So yes, that is, I think, pretty ironic. If you could use any SCP freely, what SCP would you use? If I had the ability to use any SCP in containment freely, I think today my answer is whatever SCP will make SCP-4521 scream. That's the one. Easy. What do you like about your job? Oh, we're helping the human race. We're doing a great job. We are fantastically benefiting the human race, keeping things normal. The benefits package is great. I mean, yeah, you don't have much of a social life when you can't get off site and talk to people who aren't also SCP researchers. And, you know, all of us staff members are a little woohoo. But we're doing good things, so it's fine. The job's fine. No regrets at all. No defectors that we admit to at all. Are you scared of the O5 Council? No. They're a bunch of pushovers. They're a bunch of nice guys. And if I say any different, they will hurt us. Mobile Task Force Epsilon 11 is breaking my door. Help. Well, maybe you shouldn't have shaving cream pranked the entire department. Maybe think about your actions next time, Male 07. Then they will not be coming after you. If you ask for a cup of 682 from the vending machine, I'm going to demote you to D class. Okay? There. Your answer. Do we have any SCP Gooses? Let us discover if we have any SCP Gooses together. I think I know of at least one. Alright, SCP Goose. We have 2351, we have 5106, we have 1675. Although 1675 is a goose hunting anomaly, not the goose itself. 5106 is resembles a Canadian goose. So does 2351. 7073 is a domesticated goose. And 1476 is shattering geese. So we got at least 4 goose anomalies. We are full on gooses. We got plenty. We don't need any more gooses. We'll probably end up with plenty of gooses. How do you kill a member of the O5 Council? Just curious, nothing cis going on here. They're just people. People with multiple anomalous extra thingies that make them longer lived and magic resistant and mimetically immune. But, I mean, there have been several times where just, boom. Actually, there's a really good 001 that's about the death of the entire O5 Council and, like, their gravestones and the stories behind them. I think, Memento Mori. SCP Memento Mori. Rounderhouse's proposal. Shout out to Rounderhouse, the very prolific, excellent SCP author. SCP-001 Memento Mori is Rounderhouse's proposal. That's a good one about the whole O5 Council being axed. So enjoy that one. Oh, I have to get to work. So office hours are officially closed. Here we are at the end of office hours. Reminder, time to share my favorite SCPs. There are 7 of them now, because I added one. So my favorite SCPs to clock us off. We have SCP-3999, SCP-3043, SCP-008-J, SCP-Spooky-J, SCP-5031, SCP-5175, and SCP-5320. I will say those numbers one more time. I hope you got your notes. It is SCP-3999, SCP-5043. Nope, that's wrong. I just said the wrong number. Ignore that. 3999, 3043, 008-J, Spooky-J, 5175, 5031, 5320. It's so hard to remember all of these numbers all the time. But with that in mind, I hope you have enjoyed Dr. Sherman's office hours for October 18th. I'm off to work. You get back to work. Do not cause any containment breaches while I'm not watching. Or even while I'm watching, don't breach containment. It's not okay. Make sure to get in your staff dormitories at the right hours. Make sure to eat healthy at the staff commissary. Don't load up on chili like last time. That was disgusting. And I will see you in the next video, Foundation staff. I'm just kidding. Anywhere else I'd be a 10. Is it my destiny to live and die a life of blonde fragility? I'm just kidding. Where I see love, she sees a friend. What will it take for her to see the man behind the tan fight for me?